Hello everyone, today is going to be a real special video what we're going to make today, because you can see at the side we've got Gillen. Gillen is my first, call it franchisee, of the business model what I've made in this A&R engineer team network. So we're going to have a discussion on Gillen's journey. And before we get into that, I want to talk about my video what I made. You may have seen it, may not. It was entitled The Only Way Is Up. And in that video, Gillen was in that, starting out in his journey, working for himself in Birmingham. And then from there, we're going to transition from that into this. In the present moment, he's now come back to Manchester, and we're going to listen to Gillen about his journey from that last video I made and all the things he's gone through and how he's made himself a success in Birmingham as an engineer. So Gillen, I just want to you can introduce yourself and just tell people how you came into this industry, what made you come into want to be a gas engineer in the first place.
Hi guys. Me becoming a gas engineer was it was not planned basically. I've just started the course, and then during the course I came to a stage where I need to do a portfolio to become qualified. Then this is when I found Tony, and I got involved in all that by doing a portfolio basically. So I've contacted him and for the portfolio, and this is how it all started.
Okay, so you said it was an accident. What was that? What do you mean it was an accident of you coming into the game? What was your initial sort of direction? Where was you going before you took this path?
Well, when I first had an idea to become a gas engineer, it was always in my mind, once I become qualified, to go and work for a company like British Gas or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So before you said, when you say like right at the beginning when you wanted to be an engineer, or even before you became an engineer, did you have any other like ideas where you wanted to go with your life before that?
Not really. No, I was doing completely different things, working on a completely different branch, nothing to do with gas or boilers, heat, nothing, not even plumbing.
Right.
So it was an instant decision.
So what was that then moment? What was that tipping point from doing nothing or whatever you was doing in the past? Go, oh, I want to get into this game. What made you? Was it someone you come across?
Yeah, but basically what it is, it was an advertisement that I've seen. I think it was Facebook. So I've seen the advertisement, and them advertising how you can become a qualified engineer and how much you can earn and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I said, well, let's have a go at it. Right. And I've booked an interview with someone from that company, and they came over, and we had a good chat, like an hour, and he was asking me, questions about my life, what I'm doing, what I want to do. And he sort of made me thinking of do something for myself, become something. So this is when I decided that I need to do something. I need to get some qualification. I need to, because without a qualification, you're just working around for nothing.
Yeah.
So this was my decision point. The guy who I was talking to, he made me thinking about it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Okay. Well, it's good that we know that about yourself. So that was a tipping point for you to get into this industry. And then at that moment, what were you thinking then once you made that decision? Was it then just to get training and get a job? And
yeah. I just wanted to get qualified and then get a job and work for a company like British Gas and and my plan was, just work for a company and that's it.
Yeah.
Obviously for better money than I was working before that.
Yeah.
But that was my original plan, to work for a company.
Yeah. Okay. So your vision was get a job, and then I'm happy at that, and that's
it.
me done.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
All right.
But
Good.
at least it was a start.
Yes, exactly. Exactly, and that's a lot of people's plans. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. They get on that ladder, and then the way they go, and that's it. So that's good, because it's good for us to know this, and other people to know where Gillen came from.
Yeah.
And what it was before you got to where you are today. All right, good. So from there, you go and do your gas portfolio. You go to a training centre, and then you got to find someone to do your gas portfolio. Okay, so tell us what happened then.
Well, that was a bit of realization and disappointment when I got into that training course. So I was doing all the the things from the book and training at the center, but when the time came for me to find someone to do my portfolio with, that was a real struggle. That was I was trying to find someone for ages. I've called so many gas engineers, no one even cared about it. And at the end, one day I was searching on the internet again for someone, or some company even, to do my portfolio with, and then this is when I got your number. Can't remember where it was from. I think from internet, from Google.
Right.
But this is how I found you, and then I contacted you, and then obviously you showed an interest. So I came to Manchester. We met. We talked about it, and then I started my portfolio with you.
That's right. So, how long was you sort of searching before you met me, A&R? How long was that struggle to get help?
Probably about 3-4 months.
3 or 4 months.
Yeah, I was constantly looking for someone.
Right.
I found a couple guys in Birmingham, but they was just using me as a labor, and hanging radiators on the walls and things like that. You don't even need them for the portfolio. But they basically, this is what they do. They're just using you as a labor because you need them. And they say, come and do some experience, but that's not really what you need. What they make you do it.
So how did you feel like going through this period?
I felt like I'm never gonna be able to complete the portfolio, because it was endless searching and go and work for no money, and at some point I couldn't even afford it, because I needed to go to work to earn money as well, but at the same time go and do jobs for them, and I felt like it's never gonna end.
Did you feel like giving up?
Yeah, sure. A few times, but
because obviously there's guys out there going through them same struggles as what you
I know there is a lot of guys going through the same thing, because when they start into that course, they're not even realizing about that problem.
That's it. I think they go at the training centre, they're going to go and get jobs, they're going to get what they're being promised by the guy who they signed up with. Oh yeah, give us $8,000 and we'll sort you out, get you jobs, get you through, and then you're going to get gas registered. That's it. Get loads of money and you're away.
But the reality is different.
That's right. That's exactly it. But that's great, because that's what, as I said, people are going through, and we're just trying to get that across to people. This guy has gone through all this, and you're going to hear some more great stuff from Gillen. Right. So, okay, so we've gone through that period. Now, you finally meet someone, me, and so you make the call, and then what happens then for you?
Right, so when we've met in Manchester, obviously we had a talk about it, and so I agreed to start my portfolio with you, but obviously the process of the portfolio was easy with you because I've done it like in no time. But that's not the main thing. Doing the portfolio, from struggling to do it, now that became easy. And then when I was doing it, when we was going to jobs in the van, we was always talking and discussing. Then the whole idea changed for me. The whole idea of what I wanted to do now. The whole idea changed, and I wanted to do something else after talking and discussing with you options, what I can do, what's the possibilities.
Right. Okay. So the initial idea was gas portfolio, do a job, retire. That's you done.
That's it.
Now, obviously, things change from coming to meet me and in the conversations what we had, like you said. So what made you then change from you want to be just doing a job to now I've got, I want to do my own business. So tell us what made you change the idea?
Now the first thing is when you told me that, not told me, but when you showed me that there's a better way to go than what it was my original plan, then I've realized that there is really a better way. You can go and do it on your own. You can do your own business rather than working for a company. And the second thing is, even if you still want to go and work for a company, once you get qualified, most of them, they're all asking at least for 3 or 4 years experience. So you can't even go and work for a company. So these 2 points made me change my mind, and I decided to go to do my own business and go on my own. But obviously I needed the training for it, because I couldn't do it without the training.
Okay.
But that's again where you came into
the picture.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Right. Excellent. Now, in the time what you've sort of started with me, and that was, I can't remember the actual date. You've got the dates in your head. Can you remember the dates when you sort of started? Roughly?
What the training?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. From when you started, finish your training, and you remember in the video we was talking about you launching your business. So you now launch your business. So going back to there, it's just over a year ago.
Yeah. Well, basically, I've started my training here in Manchester. I think just the end of the summer.
Yeah. So in fact, it was about September.
Yeah. So
then you started in October, didn't you?
Yeah. So I had few weeks training with you, going on all jobs with you in your van. Then after that, I think it was November or October when I started working on my own, but here in Manchester with you. Yeah. Obviously with your support and.
That's it. Oh, you remember it was in the winter,
Yeah.
when we started,
So I've done the whole winter here, training and working at the same time.
That's right, yeah.
And that changed. That was complete change for me, because in that period of, let's say from September until March, I completely changed. I was fully trained. I was ready to go and start.
That was your mentorship period.
Yeah.
That was sort of like the first version of it, because this was my first sort of. It was the first version. My iPhone 1. This is me. Again, here's my iPhone 1. What I've developed over a number of years, I said, right, we can do this. I spoke to Gillen, sold him the dream of what was possible. And one of the things what I said to you, I don't remember this, going back to what you said before, you were struggling, people wouldn't help you. Guys you went to wouldn't help you. And I said something quite profound. I don't know if you can remember what I said about guys helping you, and I'm saying guys working for you.
Yeah, I remember that.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
What did
Remember
I say?
that. You said the guys that didn't want to help you now, they will be working for you very soon, and this is what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I got back to Birmingham and I started working and doing the business, some of them guys started doing installations for me.
That's it. And so I predicted that, and I say that all the time because that's the truth. And but we won't get too involved in that. But that I sort of predicted that, and that's what came in reality to yourself. So that's really good. Now, I just want to talk about the training, what we did. Just go through in the beginning the training, you know, what I did and how you found it and how you learned and became, you know, an engineer from straight out the traps, boom, you was off and you've made a great success. So just go back to the beginning of the training and just tell people like how it was.
Yeah, the training itself, it was, yeah, as I said earlier, it was the period of, let's say, one winter. So in such a short time, the amount of things I've learned, I don't think I was gonna able to do anywhere else. Even if you work for a very big company, I don't think you can learn that much in such a short time, because the way the training was, you know, the first few weeks going with you every single job, every day different boilers, and the way you was showing me, and not only showing me, but you know, I was getting involved in the things. Yeah, just the way that the whole training is, it makes you learn fast. A lot of things.
Okay, good. Now, from training, most people are going to think, well, you're just going to be training fixing a boiler. So, in this type of training, what do you think, what is that expecting, just fixing a boiler, or was you getting things what you wasn't expecting?
The part of the training is alongside with the technical things that you're learning, you're also learning a lot of different things, like how to run your business, how to deal with customers, for example, basically everything what you need to run your own business.
That's it.
So that's the main thing, because the technical things, yeah, cool, you're learning, but there is also so many different things alongside that. How to run a business, you know, how to deal with different situations.
That's right. Absolutely, you're right. Yeah, that's it. Because that's what I say on other videos. You know, I say it all the time. People are training left, right, and centre out there. You see loads of YouTube videos talking about this boiler, that boiler, this, you know, whatever. But it's not just that. It's also the people skills, the business skills, what people don't really focus on. They just straight out there want to go and fix a boiler, but they don't know how to deal with the other side of the coin. And that's what you learn on this mentorship program. That's what Gillen has learned, and that's what's enabled him to start from zero to hero, more or less. That's what's happened using the methodologies what I teach, and he's put them like razor sharp to the wire, down the straight line, and not wavered, and met the result as manifested as his great success today. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Great. Okay, so now I was talking the other day about you, and in this success story, what you've done, you've gone from, like I said, zero, and within 12, well, just over 12 months, I can't remember exactly, you rang me up and said, oh, I've got this certificate because I've got VAT registered.
Yeah,
And
that's
that
right.
means you've hit over 80k
Yeah,
to achieve that. So 12 months from you're doing a gas portfolio, no contacts, no one to help you, you're struggling, you do this mentorship program, go back to Birmingham, boom, you're doing 8k business. Wow.
yeah, that happened quite fast. Yeah.
Wow, that is amazing. So guys want to know this because people are doing the mentorship program, people are considering it, they want what you do. They want to know how to do that. So how has it happened?
How did it happen? Well, basically, everything what we've been talking about on the training, there was clear steps that there was clear plan that how everything's gonna happen, and what I need to do and what I need not to do for that success to happen. So I've basically followed everything what we've been talking about, what we've been planning on the training. So I've just followed that. Obviously, I've put a lot of effort from my side as well.
Yes.
But you know, you can't do without effort.
Exactly.
So,
exactly. Now, yeah, that's true. Effort, determination from your side. Yeah, I only can give you so much, but then it's up to you to implement that 100%. Now, I just want to talk about the beginning of your business. So you got like two halves. When we started out, it was in the sort of summertime. So which is not a great time to start a business because in the summertime it's the phone calls low, it's warm, you've got the boilers off, so it's not good. But yet you survived through that. And so just tell people how you survived and what did you do in the early days of the struggles.
Yeah, as you said, because you're going through the training, but during the winter, then you're going back to your area in the summer and starting the business. It's not the best time. It's not a great time, but another way is it gives you a bit of time to go into it, because if you go into it on your own in your own area in the middle of the winter, you're gonna struggle with the other side, not coping with it.
Yeah.
So that, on the other hand, gives you a bit time to go into it, you know, to set up yourself, do everything what you need to do, set up some, you know, everything up.
Yeah.
And then during that period, of course, there is quiet in the summer, but just what I've done is I was trying to inform as much as people I can that we exist in my area.
Yeah.
So I was doing advertisements wherever I can, however I can afford.
Yeah.
So
so what are them things? What you was actually doing? What steps did you do to actually contact people and?
Yeah, I've done a lot of things, like when you start with, you know, giving the leaflets through the post, contacting letting agents, management companies, Facebook advertisements, Google pay-per-click advertisements, check trade, rated people, all of them. So I was trying to as much as I can
Yeah.
to show myself that
Yeah.
I'm here, I'm doing that, I'm offering that service in that area, so people know and contact you back.
That's great.
So yeah, this is what I was doing as much as I can.
Yeah, that's great. And a good point what you said about in the summertime when it's quiet, like establishing yourself, learning about certain things. So what was you actually doing, like to try and get things going? Was it like setting up like
Yeah,
Facebook accounts and
all
you did
that
that
stuff,
type of
setting up, like Google business account, Google business page, Facebook account, business pages, also setting up accounts with manufacturers, things like that. Also looking for other sources, like for example, I was contacting different boiler installers, and that's because I will need them to do installations for me.
In our strategy, that's what we said.
Yeah.
We said, because when we used to go to like merchants, I used to show you how to make contact.
That's it. Yeah.
I used to show you how to network.
So I was talking to a lot of them. I was making a contact. I was asking them. I was trying to convince them, to work together like as a team. So I said, look, I'm gonna give you jobs. We're gonna do installations for me. So because most of the installers, they don't do repairs. So whenever customer call him for repair, he's just simply saying, I don't do repairs. But I said, don't say that. Just pass it to me. Pass it to me, and I will pass the installations to you. So it's a win-win.
That's a win-win.
So I've got a few installers, and they give me.
That one, guys. That's a very good one. In networking, what you do, you go out. This is what we spoke about. We'd go out in a merchant, mingle, and I'd say, right, these guys, they're going to work for you. Show them how to do it, make a connection, and then that's it. You just tell them what you do, and then you can. Basically, you're going to pass an installation work from your size of boilers, what can't be repaired, then it's a new boiler, and vice versa. They can't repair a boiler, then you're going to get the business. So you do that before you know it. 10 engineers, contacts, 10 boilers, 10 repairs, boom, boom.
That's it. Yeah, I've got a few engineers on a daily basis. They contact me. Look, I've got that customer. He's got that problem. Can you sort it out? I say, yeah. And sometimes, when they struggle with something, I help them, just to make the contact, to make working together.
That's it. Excellent, great stuff. So that's wonderful. And as I said, that's in basically building people skills. That's how you do it. That's how he's done it, really, using that. So that's a great. So okay, so then so basically all of that then are quantified into all these jobs coming in. You've got this, you've got that, you've got all the other things what we put into place. So it's all come together to give this great success and hit that VAT figure, turnover real fast. So it's the way he's done it, using this people skills, using the methodologies what we spoke about in what he's learned in the mentorship program, and he's followed it, as I said, inch perfect, and it is the living embodiment of how it works, and it does work. So that's really good.
Yeah, that's what I said in the beginning. Is when you're going through that training, it's not only about the skills. It is about learning how to run the business, how to make the things happen.
That's right. That's right. That's what you call a true entrepreneurship. That definitely, and that's the difference, because a guy who doesn't do this type of training, who thinks he doesn't need something like me, he goes out there and he's making a lot of mistakes, and he doesn't even realise it. He doesn't realise the opportunities, what he's missing. You can see the total difference between someone who does his gas portfolio, goes out there on his own and starts doing jobs. All he's learned is his gas portfolio and to do his basic gas work, and that's it. The rest of it, he's winging it. He don't know what he's doing.
No.
He's making numerous catastrophic mistakes.
But the thing is, you're only realizing that once you got the training, once you know all that stuff, then you're realizing that without that training, you was not able. You was not going to be able to do it like that. You was going to do lots of mistakes, and probably end up with
failure.
Failure, yeah.
Failure. Now, how would you sum your success of if you didn't do this training? And you didn't, as I said about other guys not following, or well, not even following. They don't even know. They think they know it all. So if you would have went that other path, where do you think you would be?
Where would it be?
In this time frame now.
Mm-hmm.
Be a different story.
Was probably. I see myself either still trying to find a job in a big company, or maybe I was going to able to find a job and work for a company, for normal wages. This is how I see myself.
That's it.
But I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, I know. Definitely. Now, I'm gonna just speak about another engineer who basically done the apprenticeship program called Nadine, and now he went a different path. Now, what he said to me was quite interesting, because he's got the training. He's looking at other guys working at his other company where he's been, who have been there for 5-6 years, and he's saying to me that these guys are making some terrible mistakes. they're ringing him for technical advice.
Yeah, I've got that as well. I've got a lot of engineers that I've been talking to, trying to convince them to work together. I've got quite a lot of them ringing me, asking me stuff but really basic stuff that they should know a long time ago.
And so these guys who ringing you, what would you sort of project? What experience they've got? I mean, like in years of being out there, do you think about over 2 or 3 years old? These guys who are actually sort of ringing you for a bit of advice.
Well, so these stuff, they should have known them a long time ago, but obviously they're running some sort of business. But the thing is, people don't matter how much business you do, they think, oh, I'm alright with that, but it can always be better. It can always be better.
That's it.
So this is what they don't realize.
Exactly. Okay, excellent. Now we're going to just going to move on to basically like your time management and stuff. And like one of the things what I said to you about running this business using a model is you've got a model to follow. You've got if you do it this way, your stress levels, your time management, your production. How's that been? Using the sort of infrastructure what you've got.
Yeah, now I've been since I went back to Birmingham and started on my own. It's been like a year and a half, let's say.
Yeah.
Now, so before the last winter, I was a bit worried. Am I gonna cope during the winter? Am I gonna be able to do all the jobs properly? Yeah, but through that winter, I had quite a lot in business, and no problem. And that's because of the of the way we set up everything up. You know, the system, how we work, the management, the office, everything. I had no problem.
That's good to
I
hear.
had no problem.
That's good to hear. So you've got the infrastructure, you've got the back office.
That's it, yeah.
The call centre, everything's been dealt with you. So all you're doing really is like what we did right at the beginning, and this great model what I've created, not blowing my own trumpet though, but basically at first you was working for me, doing a system, and you just carrying that system in Birmingham.
Yeah.
Just went from there to
Just
there.
yeah, just the same way.
Just the same way. And so to you, it was just like you was just working.
Yeah.
But the money's coming to you instead.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all. Just the money's being redirected around going to me when you're working for me. The money's now being directed to yourself, but you've got that system, you're used to it. You've got the back office, and it's just like walking in the park, basically. And that's the difference why you've gone from 0 to 80k just over 12 months. And like I said, that's the reason for success. Success works by a formula. It's not just chance. It's a formula. You follow that, and this guy here is the result of that. So that's great. So I think is there anything else you want to say about? I'll tell you what I was going to discuss. In this business model, we do two types of services. On the repair side, we do the one-off repair. We do repair and contracts. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so the repair and contracts side, basically, they go to chargeable jobs. If they don't want a one-off repair, they just get the boiler repaired on the contract, so repair it and then put it on the contract.
Mm-hmm.
And then we lock that customer in, stops them going anywhere else, British Gas, Home Serve, anywhere else it might be out there. And then you can look after that customer, go back to the annual service and any repairs. So how has that helped you sort of in your business?
First of all, it makes you look big, because there is not a lot of guys, you know, one brand guys that can offer that. So if you're able to offer that, that makes you look big and makes the customer trust you, and that brings in customers. And other than that, as you said, you lock in the customer in, and that customer is yours. Whatever happens with that boiler, it's always your customer.
That's
so
it.
you keep earning money from him.
That's it, exactly it. So that's a foundational thing for me in my business, and obviously in Gillen's business, and anyone who gets involved in this business. That's what it is, because British Gas, that's how they're built with contracts, because you want that regular income stream coming in. One-off repairs are great, but if the phone's not ringing, then that's it, you got nothing coming in. But if you've got them annual services guaranteed, at least there's something coming in. So that's what we do. You lock the customer in, you're building a business, you're building a proper business. That's what business is. So that's another great thing of this business model and why Gillen's a success. Okay, now I want to, we've got someone with us called Marius, and Marius, he's basically going to start the journey of what Gillen's doing. So he's also on the mentorship program, and what he's up to now is nearing his end of his initial training, and then he's going to start doing his employment period, which he'll still be trained over a 4-month period, just like Gillen did. He's going to replicate what Gillen did. But in my development of what we did in the first days with Gillen, obviously I've improved what I've been doing. In any type of business, you're supposed to improve, you're supposed to learn from your mistakes, should always growing, always improving. That's what businesses do. Now, I know a lot of guys out there don't really do that. They just learn whatever they learn and that's it. They just plateau. But with this model, we're always moving forward, always innovating. So I want to just go over something with Marius. So Marius wants to really replicate what Gillen's done. So Marius got a few questions himself, and we're going to bring Marius in. So from his point of view, if he's got any questions he'd like to ask, because this is his next step, so he wants to be confident or he wants reassuring. I can give him that, but he's got Gillen here today, which can help him, or just go over anything he wants to speak about. So that's what we're going to do. There's three of us now. Right, Marius, we'll bring you in the conversation. So anyway, what if you've got any questions you'd like to ask Gillen, because you, as I said, are going to be following his footsteps.
Yeah, so Gillen, you mentioned quite a few things that you did when you started. One of them was advertising, another was networking, then you mentioned management system that you used from A&R. Well, could you mention some challenges that you faced doing these things? Because I'm sure you know they weren't just straightforward. Okay, well you set it up and then it's happening.
No, sure not. Well, about the advertisement, basically, as I said earlier, I was trying to do as much as advertisement I can. When I say as much as I can, financially and you know, wherever I can, wherever I think is a reasonable advertisement, I've gone for it, and I've been advertising myself, because when you start a business, it doesn't matter what it is, you still have to make that effort and spend money on that business and advertisement, and because things are not going to happen on their own.
You have to be waiting about.
No,
got to be proactive.
No, you have to get the things going. So just try to put as much as you can financially and on effort on advertisement, and just shout about that you're there and you're doing that, what you're doing. Other than that, you know, go do some leaflets, talk with people, with installers, or I don't know, estate agents, management companies. I've been talking to management companies about electric boilers, trying to get involved in that area.
Actually, you brought up a good point about electric boilers. Didn't speak about that. That's one of the other things in our training. The electric boiler market is basically a market what not a lot of engineers are doing. And again, we spoke at in the beginning. We identified that that's part of our strategy. That we're not just the gas boilers, we do electric boilers, because as I'd say it's about 25% of business. So 25% of business is a lot of business. So you need to have that in. So we've added that into our model. And as he said, he spoke to agents about electric boilers, because a lot of guys are not doing them. So we're doing them as part of our business. Helps us grow and keeps us going.
Yeah, so that was actually another key point of the whole thing, because I don't know if people actually knows, but it's quite difficult to find someone to work on them boilers. It's very difficult. I've been talking to customers, and they've been saying that they contacted few companies, few engineers, and as soon as they hear the make and the model of the boiler, they say no,
run,
no, and run. So if that many people are afraid and not doing it, obviously it's a good that you're doing it.
So a good opportunity for those guys.
Yeah. So back to what I was saying originally about the management companies, because them big companies, them electric boilers, they most where there is no gas in the big blocks of flats. So most of them are run by management companies. So I was trying to get involved with them because I think most of them, they've got contractors that already looking after them. But I'm trying to get involved in that and get them to use us to repair them boilers. So yeah, different things, whatever you can do to to show yourself to people that you do.
So in a sense, when you start facing a challenge, you don't just give up. You don't drop it, but you persevere. You keep trying. Is that how you?
Yeah. Yes. Sure. There is nothing easy.
Yeah.
Nothing easy. So you just have to have the right mindset, and if you have the right mindset, you will know it's not going to be easy, but you set up your goals and you go after them.
Exactly. Yeah. That's it. Now, talk about goals and going after them. We've got new things which, so when Gillen first started, and as I said, I've innovated, I've learned things from going through different periods and talk to different people and train other people, and looking at things like any business, you're supposed to evaluate that. Anyway, we evaluate things and then you learn from them and then you go on from there. So that's what we've been doing. So we've got new things what we're introducing to help us overcome challenges, set goals better, make performance better. So we're not really working hard, we're working smarter. That's what it's all about, working smarter. So in this sort of team we're building, we'll share knowledge. Anything what I find, I will give to everyone, so people then can benefit. So there's quite a few things what we're developing right now. And again, I'll pass that to Gillen. Or if Gillen finds anything, he passes it to me. So we'll be taught, oh yeah, what about this? It's like we've looked at something that nearby now, what you found. And we looked into it, but we give it a go. But it wasn't as good as what it said on the tin. But at least we're looking at stuff to see how we can, maximise what we do, increase our reach, our performance. This is what it's all about. We're working as a team, and that's what we're going to build. That this engineer team network knows how to look after its customers, runs a business properly, and will stand the test of time. Just like I have you. I've shown your customers 10 years old, 15 years old. You've seen them. And it's just a case of replicate what you see. It's there. No matter what anyone says, they can set the one. When you come here and you see what you two have seen and others, then you know. And that's true. No making up no rubbish, no sales rubbish. You see it and it's real. You can touch it, feel it, smell it, taste it. It's there. It's there. But yeah. So you got any more questions you'd like to ask?
Well, it's just maybe one more about the network. So you mentioned that you start giving something to them, and then asking it, for a favour to return, in a sense, maybe not more than a favour, but like so you start giving them installations, but then it comes back with business for you.
Yeah.
So how does that process work? How did you overcome the kind of rejection, the initial rejection that you got from the same people that you want to now be business?
Because this time when I gone to them, it was not just me asking them to do something for me. It was a win-win.
Right. Okay.
So basically, it was a win-win, but I benefit in two ways from it. And the one way is they do installations for me. So because what we mostly do is service and repairs. So I need engineers because I'm taking also boiler replacement jobs, but I need somebody to do them for me. So because I need someone to do them for me anyway, I get them to do them for me, and they benefit from that because they've got a job from me, they earn from me. But I benefit from them because they do the installations for me, but I also benefit from them because the jobs that they're not competent to do, they pass them to me.
Right.
So I benefit in two ways. As I said, one, they do what
Gotcha,
I
yeah.
can't do, and the other way is I do what they can't do. And they also showing interest this time because
Okay, yeah.
they're earning from you. You give them jobs. So
and this is, as I said, this is what we predicted. This is what we said in the beginning. And see, in this model, there's lots of things, intricate things in this. Now, Gillen and you have got a different way of thinking to the average engineer. So what we're doing in this program, and it's changing the way we think. So initially, the same guys will say, rejecting him, no, no, no. Now the same guys saying, oh yeah, I work for you. Because Gillen's now coming with a different perspective, the way he's now thinking, the way he sees things. He's got a different strategy, so, and that's the difference. Once you've got all this thinking and knowledge,
Yeah.
it's like magic.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly,
magic.
yeah.
Our things have
Yeah, no,
developed for him, and that's how it's done it. So you'll do the same. You'll do exactly the same because you, with this training and the thinking, you know how to deal with people. And it's, you know, what any guys who want to come to this training program, what they'll learn about how to treat people because it's a people's business. It's not a boiler business. Though it looks like it is.
Yeah.
It's, you know, oh, I'm fixing boiler, I'm in the boiler business. No, you're not in the people's business because without people, you got no business. Simple. He's made people skills to get him to get jobs. That's enabling him to be more profitable.
So I guess I'd like to ask the final question then, you know, I suppose about the people skills and, you know, if you had any challenging customers and how you became that, because I'm sure you've had situations.
yeah, definitely. Everybody has them. But I've said earlier when I was doing my training with Tony here, alongside with the technical things what I've learned, I also learned that side because, you know, when you're having difficult customers or difficult situations, then you see how to deal with them. You see what you're supposed to do, what you're supposed to say, how to handle it, and I was just copying. The best way of learning is copying.
Yeah, I guess success leaves clues.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Absolutely, that's it. And then I suppose the other thing you got, this includes me, and you've seen it yourself, that with the image is bigger than yourself. Now, if you realise that, like I realise that, it's my business, but I don't go shouting to people, it's my business. I don't go, oh, it's my business. I'm the guy fixing the boss. I'm the boss. No. No. It's a wrong way to go about things. Because when it's difficult customer and, you know, things are bad, all of a sudden you don't want to be the boss.
No.
The last place you want to be is the boss.
And also, when you shout and I'm the boss and trying to make yourself big, then that makes you actually smaller. Because think about if you say, look, I will get someone from the office to contact you and deal with the problem. Now that makes you big, like a bigger company. So they go towards the problem with some respect because you're a big company. But if you shout I'm the boss and things like that, it makes you look smaller.
Yeah, no, I understand. Seen that in action on a few occasions.
Yeah, and Gillen has as well. Yeah, absolutely, yeah, 100%. And this, again, it's just about thinking, the way you think, how you see things. You know, you turn it round where, like I said, guys are not going to see this who are not involved in what we're doing. Totally different way of thinking. But these are the results, and this is the success. So yeah, that's really good, and glad that we've got to where we've got to. And Gillen shared his story and his success, basically how he's done it, how he's doing it. One more thing before we go. He's been on more holidays than me in the last 12 months. He's had a better life than me.
Wow, look at that.
Now, 2 holidays in you know, it's 1.5 years in business. He's gone away twice. Some guys don't do that in 5 years. Can't afford it. They can't afford it because they're not doing the business. They're scared to leave the business because there's no one to look after it. I think we lose all the customers. You know, but it's all part of this is a dream. This is a dream. Run your own business, having a lifestyle. You know, this is what it's all about, and it's done by working in a team, in a managed environment. We have rules and respects. We look after each other, look after our customers, and then you get what you want. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, so anyway, I think we covered everything else, everything what we're looking at, what we spoke about. Yeah, I think that's it. Anything else you want to say, Fran, before we go?
No, I think we've covered everything.
Yeah, that's it. Cool. So anyway, any guys out there who are thinking about doing something like this, we'd like to hear from you, and hopefully you can be one of these lucky guys. So that's going to be it from me, Coach Tony Morgan, and Gillen and Marius. So that's it from us, guys, and we'll see you on the next video.